Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Merryman, joined by NASCAR's Elton Sawyer. Elton, let's jump right in here. From a league perspective, we all know that it's got to be frustrating to have nothing on the forecast for Sunday and have that system scoot in under the radar with about 50 laps into that race. Talk us through kind of the headache that can cause those low-lying systems moving in over the racetrack on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, there was nothing on the radar. The forecast looked to be cloudy, but we didn't expect any type of any wet weather. And then as it started to move in, we're working with the track and the local weather folks as well as our contacts, and it was just a low ceiling there that had some mist, and we were running as long as we could, and then we got to the point where we were starting to see windshields were getting wet, and the safety of the drivers was definitely something to come into play. So at that point, it was time to make a decision, and we called it at that point, or red flagged it at that point.
Overall, I mean, it's just a tough situation. NASCAR can't control the weather, so what goes into making a call to push the race a day or to wait it out?
Well, I think you take and you look at that all the information that you have available to you. Again, we work closely with the tracks and their meteorologists as well as our contacts on the weather, and they're the ones that's going to have the best information to provide to us to make the best decisions that are in front of us. So as we went through yesterday, we took the information, and basically it was spot on. It was telling us that we were going to be dealing with that for a large portion of the evening. We made a decision at that point to let all the teams and let our fans know that we would call it or postpone it until today. Today's forecast didn't look a great deal better, but with the ceiling being so low, they gave us some encouragement that we could have some periods of time where it could be dry. What we have to make sure of is we need about 3 hours with these conditions to be able to get the jet dryers and get the air titans out there to get the facility dry and ready to go race on. So we're hoping to be able to get that 3 hour window, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen for today. And then we'll take the same approach again, dealing with the experts, if you will, from the weather companies to be able to provide us with the information as we go forward. As we all know, we've got Martinsville, next weekend. We're not in a position at this point to feel like we're in dire straits, if you will, to have to jump through a lot of hoops. The teams will be well prepared to be able to execute the Martinsville weekend with the equipment that they would run there. It's not the same cars that they're running here. So as we sit here today, we're still in a pretty good position as far as getting this race accomplished and getting it finished, and then getting into the Martinsville weekend without having, again, jumped through a lot of hoops.
Now, having said that, are there contingency scenarios? Could we possibly, worst case scenario, run Martinsville or run Texas after Martinsville if it came to it?
Well, I think as you well know, Jonathan, this COVID season that we've been dealing with in 2020, we've been very fluid. Our goal is to stay the course. As we've said from day one, we didn't want to interfere with the playoffs. We wanted to stay the course with the way the schedule was laid out, and we've been able to do that to date. So our goal is to stay the course with that and not make any drastic changes.
So let's dive in a little bit here. I mean, you guys just aren't fighting the mist. There's a lot more that goes into it. We're talking about temperatures a little bit off camera. So take me through all the factors that have to be considered when drying a racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're dealing with here is we don't really have a downpour. It's not technically raining, as we would know it raining. We've got a heavy mist. So what's going on is that we will get a period of time where there'll be no mist. So then we can get our air titans, we can get the jet dryers out there, and we can start that drying process. Unfortunately, we're dealing with some 40-degree temperatures here. Normally, we could dry this racetrack in probably 90 minutes. We could be with a little bit of sunshine and just a 50, 60-degree day, we could dry it in probably 90 minutes. But with the conditions that we're dealing with, and again, it's not just a full-blown rain, and that's been it's challenging, but we still use the same tools and resources that we would to dry it in any other condition. It's just right now, it's not cut and dry, so to speak, that, we've got a wet condition versus we have a dry condition. We're in that misty area there, where you may not even need your windshield wipers, but it's unfortunate that the track is damp enough and more difficult to dry. For sure, we can't put vehicles out there and be racing.
Elton, we appreciate your time. Hopefully those clouds break down there in Texas and we can see some cars on the racetrack soon. We appreciate you.
Okay, my friend. Thank you.
For you guys watching at home, the race has indeed been rescheduled. The new run date will be Tuesday, October 27th on the networks of NBC.